What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. I want to talk about the leading MVP candidates, and when I do watch or read about the MVP award this year, there seems to be three top candidates right now. Earlier on, the candidates were Luka Doncic, Kevin Durant, and I'd say LeBron James. Now, because of the fact that Kevin Durant's missed a lot of games due to either precaution because of the Achilles injury or, protocol dealing with what. He's kind of dropped out of that discussion for right now. Luca, his numbers on the surface are strong, but there are some weaknesses there, and his team is not performing well. But of course, Luca's Luca. He gets away with things that say Giannis Antetokounmpo didn't. Remember, Giannis was putting up astronomical numbers, historic numbers, but the prevailing, notion was, hey, uh, yeah, the Bucks are 50-5, but we know that they're a mirage. In the playoffs, he doesn't get it done. He doesn't get it done in the playoffs because he's not going to get to the finals. Meanwhile, Luca is on a trajectory where his team's not even going to make the playoffs. Don't hear the same type of criticism. It's more like, well, Luca's doing everything he can. Luca's doing everything he can. But that's the double standard that you have with, certain players. Okay? And I know why, but, I'm not going to go into it because there's any type of video for that. But I want to talk about the MVP award right now. The three leading candidates seem to be LeBron James, as always, up there, um, Joel Embiid, and Nikola Jokic. Now, Nikola Jokic would probably be even stronger, but Denver is not quite having the team success that you normally would see, okay, with an MVP candidate. Though there are exceptions. When Russell Westbrook won the MVP award back in 2016-17, OKC only won 47 games, but what he did was historic with the triple doubles, and most people weren't anticipating them win 47 games anyway. Moses Malone, I think, one year when he won the MVP award with the Houston Rockets, I think they won only 45 games or something like that. But Moses' performance that year was so dominant that you had to give him the award. He was the only reason why, with that god awful roster they had with Houston that year, he's the only reason why they were above 500. So this is me. LeBron James is phenomenal. Great, great player. But we always see an open campaign from many people in the media. Not everybody, but we see an open campaign from various people in the media for him to get the award. And it goes something like year 18, age 36, 25, 7 and 7, unbelievable, blah blah blah. He hasn't really missed any games. Joel Embiid always missed 5 games. He's a warrior. Look, Bill Walton won the MVP award in 1978, despite only playing in 58 games. Okay, there have been MVPs that have missed a lot of games. So I don't know since when it's become mandatory that you have to play every game to win the MVP. Now, granted, you want to play as many games as possible, but I mean, missing to me, I think that's just a caveat that people have added to take Kawhi out of the equation. You know what I'm saying? I think that's something people have added to take Kawhi out of the argument because he misses games. But Joel Embiid this year has the Philadelphia 76ers with the best record in the Eastern Conference at 18-7. Most people, if you asked them to get into the season, which team would have had the best record, they would have said either Brooklyn or maybe Milwaukee. Okay, Joel Embiid is putting up Shaq-like numbers. He's averaging over 29 points. He's averaging over 11 rebounds, nearly 3 assists per game. He's shooting a career. This is the first year Joel Embiid has shot over 50% from the floor. In fact, he's shooting nearly 55% from the floor, and he's shooting a career high 38% from three-point range, and he's getting to the foul line almost 12 times per game, and he's shooting a career high 86% from the line. 86% from the line. This is a guy that's a really good shooter for a big man. 75% is good for a big man. Big Mo Malone shot 76% for his career. Embiid is over 80% for his career. This is a really good shooter, good shooting big man. You don't usually see that type of touch from somebody as big as he is. You know what I'm saying? Over 7 feet tall and whatever the hell he is. You know, his weight fluctuates 270, 280, 290. I don't think he's 280 or 290 this season, maybe like 265, 270. But the fact remains is this. I saw Kendrick Perkins say something about, it was either Kendrick Perkins, one of these guys, they said something about, oh, well, LeBron was in the Eastern Conference. I've seen people say the Eastern Conference, the Eastern Conference. Why is it not the Eastern Conference now when Joel Embiid is doing his thing? Well, look, during the time period where LeBron was winning championships in Miami and then Cleveland and going to the finals with Cleveland, right? Who were the two main opponents, okay? Outside of the big three who were at that time getting old, who were the real threats? I mean, Toronto, maybe, who they always destroyed, and the Pacers. They were led by who? Paul George and DeMar DeRozan. Last I checked, DeMar DeRozan he's averaging 20 points a game, but he's part of the system in San Antonio, and, he's a really good player, but does he really stand out amongst the best players in the Western Conference like that? No. And Paul George is a really good player who nobody trusts in the clutch, a constant complainer, and he's been much maligned over the last couple of years. Those are the two main threats as far as dominant, I'm using air quote, opposition players for LeBron James in the Eastern Conference, because it was the Eastern Conference. But now what you have is Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons. These were two guys that were starting to come of age as LeBron's tenure with Cleveland was coming to an end. Now they're dominant. Well, Joel Embiid is finally reaching his potential as a dominant player. Ben Simmons is too busy chasing Instagram models, whatever the hell he's chasing, and doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Whatever with him. Back then, Kevin Durant, James Harden were in the Western Conference. Now they're in the Eastern Conference, right? Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks were still on that upward trajectory, but they weren't quite the team that was going to win 60 and 70 games yet. They weren't that team until he went to the Western Conference. Trae Young emerged, you know what I'm saying? All these different guys in the Eastern Conference, Bradley Beal, a lot of these guys, they just emerged over the last couple of years. Bradley Beal didn't become a 30, 35 points per game guy until last 3 years, right? How long has LeBron James been gone out of the Eastern Conference? About 3 seasons. Even the lowly Knicks who were winning like 25 and 17 fucking games, even they are in the playoff hunt this year. So the fact remains, the Eastern Conference is a much stronger position than it was when LeBron, Ramon, James was dominating that conference. Oh, you're gonna call me a LeBron James hater? I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't. To quote Ralphie from The Sopranos, I don't give a fuck anymore. Okay? I don't give a fuck. Okay? I go by how I feel about shit. Okay? If you think I'm a hater, unfucking sub from me. I don't sing the praises of nobody. I tell you what the fuck I really feel. Okay? If I want to congratulate somebody on something, that's cool. If I got to say something I think that might be seen as criticism, oh, he's a hater. Fuck you. Okay? I think that Joel Embiid, right now, right now, right now, is the league MVP. Although Nikola Jokic has a strong, strong argument when you look at the term most valuable player. The only thing that's hurting Jokic is team success. But then again, Denver's lost some pieces too. So it's not all Jokic's fault. To me, those are the two top guys. LeBron's numbers are great, but they're pedestrian. And look, you can make an argument that Wilt should have won MVP almost every year he played in the league. Or Jordan should have won more MVPs. Or Kobe damn sure should have won more MVPs. Politics play a role in all these damn things. Okay? I don't think Steve Nash should have had any fucking MVPs. But he does. That's just how it works. Okay? Um, if you look at those seasons, 2004, 2005, 2005, 2006, I don't understand how Kobe didn't win an MVP award in '06. That's just my opinion. It is what it is. But as far as this season, it's still young. Still more basketball to be played. LeBron James might go on a run next 5, 10 games, especially if Davis isn't playing much and he's carrying his team. Then I'll change my fucking opinion and say this LeBron. But it is what it is. Tell me what you guys think.